So I'm seeing some different experiment ideas, right? So it's saying you can get a scale. Some people are saying you can put it in a balloon. You can balance it. And I'm seeing a lot of the same answers from like the same like 5, 6, or 7 students. There's about 20 of us in here, so I need to see a few more responses because we need to we're all participating, right? And I also need to be able to gauge if we understand what's going on. So thank you, Miles. Jamil, how can you tell if air has mass? All right. So great. I saw a lot of different ways to tell, but I actually want you to think: how will we be able to tell with these objects right here? Right? We have an empty bottle, we have an air pump, and we have a scale. How do you think with these 3 objects I'll be able to tell if air has mass? And I want you to think back to the video that we watched when we first started class, right? Where that bottle exploded. So Nashida was actually spot on, right? She said push air in the bottle and then put it on the scale, right? See if it's heavier. So that's actually a great idea. So real quick, what I'm going to do is we're going to take a look at this experiment. So you take a bottle. This is before there's anything in it. All she did was put the top, and it's 66.7 grams. That's how much the bottle weighs. Okay? So now you pump air in it, pump a little more air into it. Keep pumping, keep pumping. I actually did this experiment last year, and my arm hurt after this. Me pumping for a while. Pump, 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 pump. Till you have enough air in there, and then you check and see that the scale actually went up, right? It went from 66.7 to 68, right? So what was the change in mass? I want y'all to do a quick math equation, right? So I know you guys like to make fun of me when we're divided by 1/2 and carrying the 2, but today what I want you to do is I want you to figure out what was the difference in the mass from when before she added air to it to after they added air to it, right? So it started off with 66.7 grams and it ended up with 68 grams. So how much mass was added? Go ahead and tell me how much mass was added. Go ahead and put that in the chat. It's be a real quick math equation for us. I'm telling Mr. Kwashi if y'all don't get it. Tell him y'all don't know how to carry the 2 and divide by 1/2. So it started with 66.7. And then it went to 68. So what was the difference in grams? All right. I love the response in the chat. Thank you, Nashida. Thank you, Malaysia. Thank you, Dylan. So perfect. Dylan said that it was 1.3 grams difference in mass, right? So if that's the case, if by pumping air into the video and added mass to it, what does that mean, right? If you pumped air into the video, if you pumped air into the bottle and it made the scale go up in weight, what does that mean? Does that mean air has mass? Is it possible that air has mass if the mass increased by adding air to it? So I should be seeing the chat flooding right now. It should be flooding with answers. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Nashida. Thank you, Malaysia. You didn't need a calculator for that. That was really easy math. Exactly. So yes. So a lot of us were the response was yes. So we did notice that air does have mass, in fact, right? Because you can pump air into it, and the weight increases, we were able to measure how much mass was in the bottle. All right. So with that being said, Mr. Isaacs is still working on his timing clearly, but we're gonna try and finish up class with our independent practice. Okay. So for independent practice, I want you to go to Google Classroom, and under independent practice 1120, you're going to answer the questions that describe and summarize the two experiments that we did today that explains whether or not air has mass, okay? So I want you to take until the rest of class to do that. All right, so you got TSP. I don't know, you got to ask Mr. Murphy and see what he says. But for right now, what I want you to do, go to Google Classroom, and for the rest of class, I want you to finish up our independent practice for today, okay? And I promise next time you're gonna have way more time to do this because I'm gonna get better over break, okay? So Kendall, let's make sure we're getting into Google Classroom and we're opening up that assignment. And a matter of fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull it up myself because I know a lot of us like to act like we don't know how to do it. All right, Kendall. That's why we're supposed to wait to do our assignments because you don't even know if you did it right. Now I'm gonna go check and watch how you did it wrong.